It is time to get back into the discussion that has run roughshod over the NFL and sports media over the past several weeks, and it was the Tush push. Was the Tush push going to be banned? Were they going to get rid of the Tush push? Well, apparently, somebody who doesn't even really play a key component to the Tush push, Saquon Barkley, he was on the Exciting Mike's podcast, which is just a phenomenal name. Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship, the Exciting Whites. They have a podcast called The Exciting Mike. Yeah, they're called The Exciting Whites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, they said it, not me.
No reason to hate on them.
They are exciting, and they're white.
Well, there you go. Both accurate.
So Saquon Barkley, their teammate, was on their podcast and had this to say about the potential of the Tush push possibly being banned before it was overruled.
But the banning thing of it, I think it's it's soft, to be honest. Like the teams that want to ban it, because everybody can do it. Like it's not like a play that we only can do. Everybody can do.
It's not like trademark.
Yeah, and there's just we happen to have one of the best and biggest O-lines, and Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. Like, that's not our fault. Like, Josh Allen is super big. They're not as successful as it. Lamar Jackson is one of the best running quarterbacks of all time. They're not as successful with it. So it's not something that, everyone can't do. Right. So, them try to eliminate it. It's just, I think that's kind of lame.
Yeah, soft asses trying to get rid of the Tush push. You think about that, huh, Bar? What do you think about that?
I mean, he's not wrong. If you can't beat them, join them. So basically what you're saying is that in that play, in that formation, the Philadelphia Eagles are bigger, stronger, badder asses than you are. Everybody who's against it, all you're basically saying is you're conceding the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are bigger, stronger, and better at doing this play than any other team. And we don't want to see them do it because it's an unfair advantage to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Can I ask you a question? If the Titans did the Tush push, is there even a discussion about it getting banned? I think part of this is because it's Philly and because they're a bit obnoxious at times and they're a bit boisterous at times about how they do things. And you got their head coach calling it 1st and 9 whenever they get the ball because they're just going to get that final yard.
Dang.
If it was
fire, ain't it?
It's great. But if it was Tennessee or another organization that wasn't as loud, I don't even think this is even being talked about. I don't think people would care.
I think it is, and I think it is talked about just because of the nature of the play. But the intensity of it, the different storylines that have resonated from it are purely because it's Philadelphia. It's purely because it's Nick Sirianni. It's purely because of this team being it fits the reputation of the city of brotherly love. So to me, I think it's a perfect storm play for the market, for the team, what Philly represents. I mean, it's a tough, gritty, hard-nosed, city. Anybody who knows about Philadelphia, they know about the different boroughs and the different areas, of Philadelphia, the suburbs, the inner city parts. They know about all of it, and everybody has a certain way of how things are done. And most would say that it is a very, very edgy, very gritty type of play. So this play is the perfect fit for what the Philadelphia Eagles represent to their fan base. So I don't know, man. I tend to agree with Saquon, though. If you got such an issue with it and you feel like it's not a stoppable play, why don't you adopt 1st and 9? Why don't you adopt the ability to be able to run the tush push, knowing that you can get 1 yard, at least 1 yard, when you need it, whenever you need to get it? Why wouldn't you adopt that?
1st and 9.
Dang.
It's so great. It's so great.
That's putting it on the table.
Say, this is what we're doing. Dare you. We dare you to try and stop it. This is what we're doing. It's 1st and 9, just so you know. But I watch it and I go, this has really become the biggest talking point of the NFL offseason as far as on-the-field stuff goes, and it was this, and then it turned into this heated debate where you've got, Jeffrey Lurie, doing a comparison to a teenage boy's wet dream and all that. Philly's just, they're in a place right now where they know they're the champs. They're going to let everybody know they're the champs, and I think next year they're going to go out of their way to make an example of people with this play. And we brought up the possibility of this.
As if they haven't already.
Oh, yeah. But we brought up the possibility of this on our show, that they open up the NFL season against the Cowboys. It would not surprise me the first chance they get, first down, say at their own 25, 30-yard line, and they're just going to go tush push on the first play of the season, just to stick it to the league and stick it to everybody else, as Saquon pointed out. All the lame asses out there who are soft enough to vote against it. I think that's the way Philly's going to handle this. They know, look, we may be on borrowed time. Eventually, they're going to want to try and get this taken out of the game. While we've got it, let's go ahead and stick it to everybody for as long as we can. Feels like something they would do. That feels like an Eagles move.
I mean, why wouldn't you? And it don't look like they slowing up. Look at what they're doing personnel-wise. They ain't slowing up. So don't think that they're just going to go quietly into that good night. They're not. You're going to have to deal with us, I mean, them, I'm a Pittsburgh dude, but I do love PA and I do rep Philly. But you're going to have to deal with the Eagles, man. And that's just, it is what it is. They have a very, very nice, this is what you got to say, because you can't limit them to just being one play, right? The Philadelphia Eagles just won the Super Bowl, people. Quick reminder, they just won. And they knocked off them boys. And I ain't talking about Dallas. So when you look at what they've been able to pull together, and it hasn't come void of drama, it hasn't come void of adversity, but adding Saquon to this team was the single biggest move in all of the National Football League, in my estimation. Having what they already had on the defensive side of the ball and continuing to add, as some of the guys like Brandon Graham retiring, some of these guys leaving, they are so deep with talent that looking at them, it's almost crazy to think that most of these guys are literally on rookie contracts, man. And having the ability to grow your team and figure out where to mix and match, or where to fill in and plug in the gap. They're not just plugging in the gap with serviceable players. They're plugging in the gap with guys that are coming out of college that are perennial Pro Bowlers, perennial All-Pros, just talented players. So the storyline is much bigger than one play with Philadelphia. It just becomes a funny story, a funny conversation, if you ask me, because it's almost like the people who are having such an issue with this play, it's almost like you have an issue with the Philadelphia Eagles or somebody that's a part of the Philadelphia. Maybe it's Big Dom you got an issue with. Oh, yeah. I don't know who it is, but you got an issue, and you're trying to paint this picture like the Philadelphia Eagles are only good because of one play. You could not be further from the truth of reality in terms of what this team represents. It is a well-built team. It's turned into a well-oiled machine, Jonas. So to say it's one play, you do away with the tush push, you're doing away with the Philadelphia Eagles' success. Yeah, try that one. Try that one out. See how that one ages.
And I
don't think so.